Hi, I'm Jacqui Blue. Welcome back to my channel. You are watching the Anti-Law of Assumption series. In this video, I want to talk about manifesting a specific person, which is what most of the coaches in this community have built their business model on. And how unhinged it is to think you have control over other people. I want to lay down some of my own personal credibility that these coaches don't have. I am someone who was living a nightmare, and I actually did change. I completed a film program and earned an associate in science in film and video production. I produced, directed, and shot my first documentary, and I also moved across the country. I launched my production company as I was working on my first film. I was selected to be one of 10 directors, one of 5 female directors, for an at the time A-list actors now infamous masterclass.
Director Jacqui.
Hi, my name is Jacqui. I'm originally from Hollywood, Florida. I feel like there's not enough female directors out there, and I think that there should be.
Where I produced, directed, and edited a short raunchy comedy. I began production on my second documentary while working as a production assistant on someone else's film, which inspired my idea to go forward addressing the growing crisis of people ending their own lives. I wrote, directed, produced, and edited another short film, and I was also hired by Tones to co-write, direct, and edit his short film Passion Project 2.
Wait until you cross, use this as your mark. Okay. Don't drop it before you pass that, because otherwise we won't see it. Got it.
7 years ago, I began a year-long intensive course studying the subconscious mind. I graduated from that program at the Hypnosis Motivation Institute with honors and an academic achievement award. I began my career as a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I have since worked with hundreds of clients worldwide, helping them change their lives by changing their minds. I created my beautiful Hypnosis Births program, which covers pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum support. I completed and independently released my second documentary in 2020 when the world was on lockdown. Since May 7th, 2011, I have put myself through school twice. I have made 2 feature documentaries, and I'm starting with a third. I have completed 2 manuscripts while also working on a third. I have created a hypnotherapy program for pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum support, all while continuing to raise my children, seeing my twins start their 20s, and my daughter and I are embarking on the early part of her life adventure. This is a do-over. So just so you guys know, I'm not someone who's talking out of my ass, and I'm not trying to make money off you. If you're coming to this because you're from the Law of Assumption community, I don't want your money. I want you to spend your money on a therapist. Let's get into the SP stuff. We're going to read some Reddits. So let's dive into it. Grab a drink, grab a snack. We got a lot to unpack. First, I want to start with what is an SP. SP in the Law of Assumption community is specific person. I know that the Scientology community says SP is a suppressive person, but in the Law of Assumption community, an SP is a specific person, aka the target or object of someone's limerence. Let's talk about solipsism. Solipsism is a philosophical idea that only your mind exists, and everyone and everything else outside of your mind is just a projection of your mind. So the law of assumption is like the law of attraction dressed up in solipsism. When someone believes that they can make their specific person fall in love with them with their thoughts alone. And by focusing on them, having mental conversations, writing in a journal,
you are obsessed with me, you are obsessed with me, you are obsessed with me.
They are engaging in solipsistic distortion of reality. Say it with me. Solipsistic distortion of reality. The law of assumption encourages individuals to see their thoughts as so powerful that they can alter another person's behaviors, feelings, and thoughts. And that is extreme delusion. Your thoughts are not that powerful. Your thoughts can shape how you think, feel, and behave, but not another person. Trying to manifest a specific person who does not want you is unhinged. Other people do have free will. If I read Dr. Robert Sapolsky's book on free will, then at some point I might come back with another opinion on the subject of free will, because I know Dr. Robert Sapolsky, who is a professor at Stanford, has written a book with the notion of we do not have free will. I don't agree with that, but I believe that what Dr. Robert Sapolsky is referring to is not the same as what the law of assumption community is referring to. Having watched Dr. Sapolsky's lectures, I believe that Dr. Robert Sapolsky is speaking more from the idea that you are shaped from 0 to 7. So you are a product of your subconscious programming, and that is what I think he's referring to when he says we don't have free will. We're a product of our environment, our biology, our subconscious programming. And so because of that, our decisions are predetermined based on who we are as a person. I would like to read his book. This is just my speculative guess based on the lectures that I've watched of his. But I feel like if you were to present the law of assumption to Dr. Robert Sapolsky, he would laugh it out of the water. The law of assumption encourages you to see your thoughts as so powerful that they can alter another person's behaviors, feelings, and thoughts. This creates a dangerous disregard for the autonomy of other people. This sees other people not as independent individuals with their own free will, but as mere objects that can be manipulated and controlled by your thoughts. Basically, making everyone else your mental marionette puppet. And, well, that's just not the way people work. That's not the way reality works. You can't think yourself into someone else's heart and affections. It also creates a complete disregard for consent. Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you? Someone who doesn't consent to you touching their body? Can you imagine being the object of someone's limerence? And how disturbing that would be. Imagine for a moment someone that you find repulsive. Now think about that person obsessing over you. That even when you block this person, that even when you tell them you will never be with them, that they are delusional for even thinking that you like them, and you have to have your significant other message them to tell them to leave you alone. Just imagine that for a moment. Imagine being that person. First of all, no self-respecting person is chasing someone who has blocked them and told them, you repulse me. This brings me to a Reddit that we need to read. You need to see this Reddit post.
Can you manifest someone who has rejected you? Is it possible to manifest someone who you never dated but actually rejected you? I've been manifesting my SP for a year, and recently, last month, in my case, my SP told me she wants nothing to do with me, that she's not attracted to me, will never like me, that she won't give me a chance, and to leave her alone, and even blocked me on TikTok, but I still want to be with her and continue manifesting her. Has anybody gone through this? who successfully manifested their SP who rejected them but never dated them and did date them after the initial rejection? Because I've heard a lot of stories of rejection, but it's mostly with people who dated previously, but I haven't heard of a story of someone who was manifesting their SP and they rejected them at first, but then dated them and manifested a successful relationship with SP. I know will be with my SP. I've gotten tons of dreams of us holding hands and kissing, and even one where had sex. But I just need some encouragement because the 3D looks complete opposite.
Coming in here and seeing their comments, okay.
Nah, you were never in my situation, bro. You had it amazing. My SP and I were never in a situationship or were even friends. She turned me down completely, told me she wanted nothing to do with me, to move on from her and leave her alone. And I've been manifesting for a year, LOL. You manifested in a month. You were never in a bad situation like me currently. Been affirming for a year and she only blocked me and turned me down every time. She even called me delusional. She even called me delusional when I told her that I thought she also likes me.
And people encourage this. Yes, you can see my downvotes on this.
Bro, I'm not new to this. Been living in the end with my SP for a whole year and nothing has happened except for her breaking up with 3P like almost 2 weeks ago. It's very humiliating because she rejected me really bad and even got her ex, when they were together, to text me to stop texting her because she was his girl and called me a bitch ass. And it's not easy when it's been a long time and it looks the way that it does.
This right here,
I'm not going to stop regardless of how hopeless my situation looks.
is completely psychotic. So apparently an update to this little story is that this person who made the Manifesting the SP post is apparently spiraling. That's what they call it in this community. He is downward spiraling because he read this in the anti-Neville Goddard sub. We're going to read this. Someone posted this in the Neville Goddard critics, and somebody who knew that I was working on a video about manifesting specific people alerted me to the current drama going on with this specific person who posted this in the Manifesting the SP group. This is the same guy that his person told him to F off, blocked him. Then he was saying they were already married. Between the post I just read to you and this post right here, this person made another post asking the mods of the Manifesting SP subreddit to kick out all the haters. And when replying to all the haters, was saying that he's already married to his SP. It's the same person.
This story is making me feel delusional regarding my SP. I read this post in the anti-Neville Goddard sub, and it's making me feel crazy at the moment regarding my SP that I've been manifesting for over a year now.
Now, remember, this is the person who I just read their post where they talked about how they were not going to give up no matter what. So they read a post that says,
"My ex tried to manifest me. He ended up a mess with a restraining order because he wouldn't leave me alone. He kept driving past my home and stalking my work profile. I confronted him one day because it was creeping me out. He told me all about his techniques he used, and it was madness. He is not the person he used to be. He used to have a really good career, confidence, and a drive in life. He was very attractive too. Now he's lost weight, looks depressed, and isn't doing too well career-wise. It's sad, really. By the way, I didn't feel a single thing when he was apparently manifesting me. I didn't think of him. I didn't dream of him. My feelings never changed towards him. I had no urges to speak to him. Just nothing, haha. I was also with someone else. It's been about 6 years now, and he still lingers around and thinks we are meant to be. It's crazy.
So people even tell them that Jodi Arias also followed LOA and said the same things you did. Look what those teachings made her end up doing. Your SP made it clear they don't want you and you need to back away. You are threatening her safety with your delusions. Please move on and find someone else who loves you for you and makes the choice to be with you. You deserve that. This person is being sound and logical and offering clear, sane advice. And the response is insane.
Nah, G, not backing away, only in the 3D, but I'm going to continue persisting in the 4D until it shows up.
Oh my God, stop. You need help. I'm being so serious. Please do not continue this. It does not end well. And then the person goes on again.
I'm already married to my SP.
This is the delusion. This is what is so scary. Let's read this. Let's read this post. This is International Crow, who is the person that the OP in this post is freaking out and is feeling like they're spiraling after reading their post.
This is my story. I can assure you he followed the LOA to a T. When things didn't progress, he began stalking me. I read his journaling and all my clothes and personal items were still in the places I left them when I left him. He became so obsessed, living in the end, telling people we were still together and acting as if we were. We wasn't. It's a really long story, but I can swear to you he did the same things you people are doing in this group. His erratic behavior and delusion have cost him his own sanity. It didn't make me obsessed. It made him obsessed. It cost him a hell of a lot, and it's extremely sad to see. This is not the person I was in love with once. I don't know who this person is. Love isn't supposed to be about obsession or control. It's about care and compassion and being a team. I'm not going to comment on here and be nasty, but I'm asking you to just please sit down and really look at yourself. This caused damage to my life. The person who apparently loved me that much was also willing to cause me pain for his own selfish wants and needs. He didn't care about me. He didn't love me. If he did, he wouldn't try to control or believe he could control my thoughts/actions to benefit him and only him. Take all that energy and love and give it to yourself. I promise you will be better for it in the long run. It's just a little rough at first. Also, please look up Limerence.
Now, this is from the person who made that post. This is from the person who was stalked, who was the target of somebody's SP obsession. And they downvoted them, again, of course, for being sane and logical and for offering good, solid, logical, sane advice, giving the testimonial that this caused damage to their life. Limerence is when individuals mistake their obsessive thoughts, fantasies, and the need for validation as affection. Limerence is characterized by an intense emotional dependency, whether or not the object of their affection reciprocates the feelings. The key characteristics of limerence are obsessive thoughts. So the person with limerence is constantly thinking about their specific person. They can't stop the thinker. They can't stop the brain. They are idealizing and fantasizing regardless of how many times they've been rejected. They don't care. They don't care about the rejection because the obsession is stronger and overrides the rejection, just like the post that I just read to you from the Manifesting the SP group. These people have an extreme emotional dependency on a person who is not into them, and this can lead to deep despair. A limerent individual often ignores the flaws of their specific person, failing to see them as a flawed, regular human being, and instead elevates them to an unrealistic standard. This kind of idealization of another human being can lead to disappointment and confusion when reality fails to meet expectations. And the limerent person is also desperate for validation. Individuals suffering limerence may engage in obsessive behaviors. This can lead to stalking. They will be consistently checking social media and reaching out to their SP, or persistently trying to gain their attention in some way. Even if they're going about it in the wrong way, they might feel that negative attention is better than no attention, because now at least they are on the person's radar. Obsession is very unhealthy. Obsession leads to stalking and the disregard for autonomy. When an individual is consumed with their need to manifest a specific person, they become unhealthily obsessed. As I mentioned in another video on this series, I had a stalker when I was 19. I will do a full video on just that situation so that you guys understand that it's not fun to be stalked, to be the object of someone's limerence. I want to make a video coming from that perspective to tell you what it was like and how scary it was. When I was 19, a 26-year-old with schizophrenia was obsessed with me, and it was scary. He was convinced that thought transmission was real and that I could hear his thoughts. He was convinced that he and I shared a consciousness, which is absolutely not true. I, as the limerent object, will tell you it was scary as fuck. If you are somebody trying to manifest an SP, that person has every right and reason to get a restraining order against you, and they should. It is not mentally healthy to think you can control another person with your thoughts. Any coach telling you that is mentally unwell. I will not stop saying this. This is the truth. You're leading to abusive relationships, abusive cycles, and these coaches, I'm putting you on notice, and I'm letting you know. Women are dying because of this. You're causing obsessed people to think their obsession is okay, and it's not. For the person who's being stalked, it is scary. For the person who has to have their boyfriend or significant other message someone to tell them, leave my partner alone, that is taking it to a different level. If somebody's significant other has to message you to tell you to fuck off after you've been blocked, you deserve the restraining order. We've all had experiences in our life where we have a crush on somebody, right? And that crush is reciprocated, and we get all excited and giddy, and we get to have that person as our boyfriend or girlfriend for a short time, or maybe for a long time, right? Like in high school, there was this gorgeous guy that I had a crush on the first day of school, right? He was wearing a Silverchair shirt. He had long blonde hair. I thought this guy was the cutest boy I'd ever seen. And you know what? He reciprocated that crush on me. And it wasn't magic, it wasn't manifestation, it was mutual attraction. And we went on to have a 5-year romantic relationship, and that man to this day, still my heart and soul, my best friend. I will fight to the death to protect him, and he and I are still thick as thieves, okay? But I think most of us have also had an experience where we have a crush on someone and it's not reciprocated, or we're in love with someone and it's not reciprocated, and that's unrequited love, and unrequited love sucks, and rejection hurts. It hurts a lot, and it does hurt the ego, and it does make you feel like, well, I'm not attractive, or why not me, or whatever woe is me you go into. That's normal. It's normal to feel sad and bad and humiliated when you get rejected. That's normal. And it's normal to feel giddy and excited when there's mutual attraction. That's normal. That's healthy. But once you get to a point where you honestly feel like you need to manifest a person, that's crossing a boundary. That's not love. That's control. You don't care whether the person loves you. You want them regardless of if they love you or not. And that is the problem. And that's what I'm trying to help you understand. There's healthy love and there's unhealthy love. And limerence, solipsism, These are unhealthy things. And if you're pursuing a partner who has told you, I don't want you, I don't love you, you repulse me, I'm never going to be with you, you're delusional for thinking I like you, and they even go to the extent of having their significant other message you, and your response is,
Nah, I'm gonna keep going. Clearly, they love me, they just don't know it yet.
get help before you end up killing the person or their partner. Very seriously. I watch forensic psychology. As a domestic violence survivor, I have studied how these relationships work. I am very aware. I do talk to other women. I do talk to other domestic violence survivors. I do talk to other people who are in these kind of stuck relationships. So I know what I'm talking about.
And so, for example, in this case, there was this talk about the law of attraction. How familiar are you with that?
I've heard of it.
And is this some sort of doctrine that Michigan State had a course in?
No.
How about, I think you said you went to school in Massachusetts, correct?
Correct.
Perhaps back in the East Coast, did they have some sort of course out there that taught the law of attraction as part of a psychology degree?
No.
Is that a psychology type of concept, this law of attraction?
Not in the way that it's used in, I believe it's called The Secret.
So with regard to The Secret, what is The Secret?
It's the idea of putting out positivity.
And The Secret, is that a movie or what is it? Do you know if it's a movie or it's just the concept that you know?
I believe it is a movie.
Is The Secret required reading or is it The Secret part of the training that you received while you were conducting your 1 year at the Arizona State Hospital? Is that something that you even came across as part of your psychology training before you were actually licensed?
I came across it in terms of patients bringing it up and it causing problems in treatment.
When you say it was causing problems in treatment, specifically, what are you talking about?
Well, when I'm in a therapeutic role, my goal is to teach my patients to, or work with them on how to become balanced and how to view the world in a balanced way, because there are negative things that happen in life and there's also positive things. And so The Secret encourages people to only focus on the positive aspects of life, which unfortunately just causes disappointment quite a bit.
The law of attraction basically states that if the energy you put out is what you bring in. So if you put out a lot of good energy, you bring good energy back to yourself. And
Maybe the law of attraction tells you that you should believe Mr. Dworka, because again, you can't believe the text messages, you can't believe what's written down on the receipt, and you can't believe what's in her journal because of this law of attraction. Now you can't even believe your own eyes, because if you do believe your own eyes, you know she's premeditating the murder. She's thinking about killing him. That's all that's required. The state doesn't even need to prove a whole plan such as this. All the state needs to prove is that the defendant thought about it, the killing, before she actually carried it out.
and for some folks, it's clearly about thinking. If they think the right thing, then good things will happen. She doesn't have to be affected by what's going on around her, as if she just thinks right and if she just focuses on what's positive, then it'll turn out okay anyway. And so it almost negates the impact of one human being on another.